Welcome to my channel. My name is Avree, but you may call me ReeRee. Now today I will be discussing how building on family land war resulted in my redemption. And one of the key things about this video is that it shows you no matter what people may do to you in life, no matter how people might try to tear you down, break you down, sabotage you, what is for you is for you. Who God bless, no man curse. No, there is some noise in the background. Looks like someone is cutting some trees very early in the morning, so I'm asking you to please pardon me, pardon the noise, excuse the noise. Firstly, I see a lot of persons in the comments saying, as regards to the house that, me and my spouse share, on his family side, whatsoever. So I see lots of persons in the comments saying, pull down those, don't let them get it, this and that. By me moving on or going ahead and creating a space for myself, in no means that I am giving up. Even in the Bible, John 14:2, the Bible says, in my Father's house are many mansions, I go to prepare a place for you. So that simply means that I am not giving up on that fight, absolutely not. However, in the meantime, I am going ahead and creating a safe space for myself that I will be able to enjoy. So by me going forward now and leaving the comforts of my own home, and in this case comfort is relative because yes, the place inside of the house may be comfortable, but spiritually it wasn't right. So by me going forward and leaving the comfort of my own home, simply means I'm going somewhere, I'm going to prepare my truthful, rightful home, a home where I can experience endless peace, joy, privacy, happiness. No one can disturb me there. No one can annoy me there. No one can fatigue my spirit there. I'm not going to sit there with them. Because much like the fable of the eagle and the snake, the eagle flew up in the sky when it was being attacked by the snake. By doing that, he achieved getting the upper hand because the snake has no wings. The snake cannot fight in the air. So by me moving physically, right, by me moving on, doing something different, how can you fight me here? You cannot fight me here. You cannot come to my property. You cannot come anywhere here. You understand me? So I am giving myself the upper hand of controlling my own destiny. Oh, you have to reach me, so you can't do it. It's impossible. You can't reach me here. You can't find me here. You can't touch me here. You have no control here. So it's basically playing chess and not checkers. You don't put yourself in the way of your enemies, you understand? And that is what I'm doing. And you have to understand and be mindful of the realities of life. Some people feel like they have you entrapped, and that's not the case. In the midst of all this, I have not once lost focus. I have not dropped the ball. So if anyone believes I have given up, think again. That is not the case. I do not play with people, and I do not expect people to play with me. I could have easily stayed there and enjoyed the luxuries of my home. The luxuries of a king-size bed, air condition, big screen TV, Wi-Fi, unlimited series to watch. But I'm not going to sit there and just wait, I have to do something, and I understand that my presence is way too valuable for them. In previous videos, I have discussed that light and dark cannot coexist. You understand me? And when you are around that kind of toxic environment, I feel like it's contagious. I feel like birds of a feather flock together. I feel like you are who you spend time with. You are who you are around. And so when I was there, even though, like I said, I wasn't giving up, but based off circumstances of which I will not go too detail in, you have to wait. And waiting there felt like my energy was being drained. I felt like there's something more I could do with myself. There's more to life than just this type of misery. Of course, a lot of persons would be able to sit and wait and just be around them. Me personally, I feel like life is for living, and I'm not going to sit around with dirty people and just be there like that. There's more I can accomplish. I feel like I can go ahead and be the best version of myself. all the while still doing what I'm doing and still handling business. It wasn't an easy decision to make when I started this project because building a house is not easy, nor is it cheap. Me and my spouse worked very hard to fix up that building on his family property that was, given to him to live in, etc. And so just the thought of starting over again was extremely terrifying. And it seemed to me like this family land war, I believe my spouse's family thought that it would have destroyed me. I don't know if they care about him, which is their own flesh and blood. Doesn't seem so. I think they felt like the house would be the end of me, or the house is my last choice or my last option in life, and that if they should win, which they will not. I know that their intention was to throw us out, and that will not happen. But maybe they felt like because I was there, I had nowhere else to go, and so I had to stay there and fight. There are many ways to fight, and the fighting is not just physical. And for all the Christians who read their Bible, you will know that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and wickedness in high places. And so in times like this, it is important to have critical thinking and to be mindful that we're not just fighting any old battle, but we are fighting the wiles of the enemy. And you have to be wise, and you have to be somewhat discreet, and you have to be careful and mindful. I am almost certain that, I am certain that if we were to remove ourselves from the equation, the same family fighting against us would be fighting each other because that's just their nature. So like I said, they felt like I would be in this lifelong or this years-long battle with them regarding the house, and that would be the end of me. I have no more options, that they thought, and they felt like this is how I'm reading the situation. They might have felt like I'm going to sit there and fight with them all day, every day. But God said no. The Lord has better plans for me. The reality is that we are still occupying the house. But while we resolve the matter and do what we need to do to resolve the matter, we have decided to go ahead and build a better life for ourselves in the meantime. And that is really stepping and moving with faith. We have faith that the Lord will bring a rightful and just resolution to the matter, and we know that when the issue is resolved, we will need a place to live comfortably, because we know that we are done with that place. You understand me? We know what it is. So if you are moving in faith, you can't just say, all right, I want this workout, and then afterwards anything. I have a plan for my life. I have a plan for my future. I see what is going on, I know what is going on, and I know how to handle myself. So while we are doing what we are doing, while we are working out the resolution, etc., we are building a better future ourselves, free from crisis people. And in doing so, we have become better, stronger, wiser, militant. And in so doing, we have found our redemption. What we thought was lost seems to be is being regained. What we thought was over is the start of a new beginning. What we thought was just a horrible nightmare is now resulting in our dreams coming to pass. All the lies, all the provocation, all the annoyance, all of those nasty things that they did to me and to us, they're now silent to my ears. It's like dead ears. It's a thing of the past, because I have changed the game drastically. Once you ignore people, people want to ignore you. People want to get under your skin, and once you're able to avoid all of that, I think they end up annoying themselves. And so we have definitely figured out how we're going to deal with this matter while continuing to build our lives. They are still fighting over that same building that we are still occupying. All the while, we're still locked in on our dreams and our accomplishments and our goal, building our future, building ourselves. They are stuck in a repetitive cycle of being influenced by the enemy, a repetitive cycle of doing evil, because when we do go back to spend a few nights, they still have resorted to the same old tactics. One of which, as daylight, they start to play the music. They play it for like 5 seconds and turn it back down. I mean, I couldn't do that. So just imagine how tormented a human being has to be to play music for 5 seconds and turn it back down. I think the tactic or the goal is to annoy us while we get our rest. And so you realize that they are stuck in one cycle, all of them. And believe it or not, the people who are doing these things are all senior citizens. and quite a bit of them are toothless. Them not having a teeth in them head. So why would young me, a bright future me, nice clean me, anointed me sit down and fight with that? Come no, come no. I am not going to sit with them because I already see that there is a demonic energy and a darkness that is constantly revolving in their generation, in their bloodline, and in the community, because the community is predominantly populated with one family, that family. So I'm not going to sit around with them and do this evil game that they play all the days of our lives, because if it's not with me and my spouse, it's with them and somebody else. Because the reality is that I see that they don't like each other, and so I already know that they're definitely not going to like me, especially because I don't have their moral standing, which they have none. Because majority of the people fighting are senior citizens, like I said, and they cannot even walk in a straight line upright and properly. Because what they don't understand is that what goes around comes around. Whatever seeds you sow, that so shall you reap. And wickedness is like a sickness to your bones that spreads gradually, slowly but surely. And it can be symptomatic or asymptomatic, but eventually it consumes you. It may be a day, it may be 10 years, but what you do comes back around to haunt you. And so when I look at them, I see sick people, old people, toothless people, senior citizens, and the impression I get is like they must have to fight before they die, because they cannot imagine a world that they're not alive and people are prospering, and the people that they don't like are prospering. So anybody within their reach that they can fight, they will do so before the day they die or until the day they die. Which is why I always say it's important not to live on people's property, on family's land, or close to people that are evil and wicked, because they have an ongoing wickedness that will not just go away. It will take them to their grave. And I have learned to understand that people don't really change so easily. And when you have a light within you, it is better not to go and live with dirty people or beside dirty people who can see your business, hear your business, watch your business, because they will do whatever they can to destroy you. These people will literally sit and hide and lurk in bushes, underneath your window, underneath wherever, just to listen to your business, to go ahead and spread lies, to go and jeopardize your business, to go and mash up your life, your relationship, everything. If you can go into a peaceful space that is private and only you have access to, and no one can come in and listen, and the place is fenced, it is better for you. There is a term that farmers use when the land is infertile. They say the land is bind or bound. We Jamaicans would say bind. The land is bound. It is unable to produce food, fruit, vegetables, etc. And that is exactly how I would describe that environment, the people there, and the community of the people. Like I said, majority are family. No matter what they do, it will not come to even. This is something I've observed with some of the persons who reside in that space. Nothing good comes from them. It's all evil. They bear the fruits of evil. So bad seeds are planted, and so bad fruits are reaped. When me I do this, so the only people I see that prosper there are people who have made a deliberate decision to do good, to be better, to have a clean heart. A lot of people get baptized, but for the majority, it's just one cycle of sickening wickedness and evil. Majority of the people there are bad mind, hypocrites, cargo bring come, two more cutlass, family against family, cousin against cousin, brother against sister, sister against brother. All of that. If somebody goes and buy a blue jacket, the neighbor is going to buy one just like it, even if it means taking his last dollar or using his last money for paying bills. And there is more to life than that. Yes, the whole of Jamaica watch people and try to compete. That is a known thing. However, that is too close to comfort my neighbor every time, so no, you must have a life of your own, a life for yourself. And so when we went ahead and did this renovation and did this addition on the property, if them a go wash a jacket, wait till them a go do out a house, them a go grudge it. Them a go want it because them don't have it for themselves. And even people who have already want more because they think that they're the only one that should have. You shouldn't have. And I find that a lot of this mentality is in rural areas. Yes, town people have dirty ways as well. Everywhere have dirty ways, everywhere have good ways. But town people, it is very dominant. It is very popular because they are underexposed. Any little thing, any little accomplishment a person has, it is going to be envied. Bitterly so, bitterly envied. I have observed the people in that space, and no matter how far they go, they end up going nowhere. True. It's like they're stuck, and I felt that for the period of time that I was there, that is really how I felt, stuck. So while they're there carrying on like some butter-aged Lego demon, I have decided to make some radical changes in my life. And by doing so, I am learning that I can accomplish lots of things that I thought I would never be able to do. All my life, I have dreamed about owning my own home with a nice farm or a garden, raise a couple of animals, and now I see that it is coming to fruition. But when I decided to make the move to live on the family land there and to build and to renovate, etc., I was only limiting myself. I was only stifling myself. I was suffocating myself. I was settling for less. I should have never went there with substandard people and catch up with them. You understand? When I say catch up, I don't mean I was catching with anybody, but just the mere fact that I was putting myself, my presence around them, on their place, etc. People are very dirty. People do not like progress, especially, I hate to say this, especially rural-minded people, because you have a lot of good rural people who are very bright, very futuristic, very ambitious, very accomplished, but not all. For the ones who are not, they're very bad. They are very, very limited mentally and emotionally, consciously and spiritually. So when you look at it, this family land war actually pushed me out of my comfort zone and allowed me to accomplish my lifelong dreams, because if it wasn't for this, I probably would have sat there still and just lived there thinking this is the best of me. But now that this happened, I had to put my shoulders to the wheel and look in myself and do things that I never thought that I could do. So while they're there entertaining the enemy, I am working, I am planting, I am building, I am doing radical changes, like I said, and transforming my life for the better one step at a time. I didn't know that I could do steel work. I didn't know I could lay blocks. I didn't know I could design a house. I didn't know I would be so independent. I didn't know I could be so strong. I didn't know I could be a farmer. I didn't know I would be a landowner. Didn't know I'd be a homeowner. I thought that I didn't have it in me to accomplish these things. I thought I didn't have it in me to be my own shining star. I thought that I would always have to take what's left. All my life I was afraid of rent, and so I said I must build, but I was doing it the wrong way. I'm not saying you can't build on family land. I am almost certain that the typical Jamaican family are not like these people, because typically these people really aren't people. I come from a shady background. My parents are definitely shady. One is past, one is still living. Shady, shady. And it is so unfortunate that I picked up a spouse with shady family members as well, just as shady or even more shady. And when you look at it, I don't know why. It's like they're not loving, they're bad mind and bitter. And that is like a generational thing. And so if you can start out where, number one, your family is good, go ahead. I'm not stopping anybody to build on their family. Lots of persons in the comments say their family is different. I believe you, and that is how it should be, and I'm happy for you. But unfortunately for me, I have never experienced that kind of love or that type of goodness from family. So I always advise not to do it. But if your family is wonderful, go ahead. And for those who have family like mine, it is not impossible to start over. It is not impossible. As a matter of fact, don't start over. Start properly. Start with something for yourself. Start by being independent. Start by doing the right thing. Don't go through what I went through. It is taking every bit of strength and fiber in my bones daily to carry on. It's not easy. The whole thing is a commitment mentally and physically and spiritually. It is so much easier to give up and go back to the house and live with those wicked people, but I'm not doing that. And this is where I leave the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell.